Hey friends, who's ready to get into our story? Awesome, me too. So let's all open up to page 69 and let's look at our title. Too Many Places to Hide. Written by Antonio Scray. Illustrated by Jamie Kim. And can everybody look up here at the top? It says genre, realistic fiction. Everyone say that word with me, genre. That means the type of story it is. Realistic fiction. Fiction means that it didn't really happen. It's made up. And realistic means that it could happen. That means that it's not going to be about a gnome who traveled back in time to do magic. It means it's something that could really happen tomorrow in the real world. Okay? All right. So let's look at our title. Too Many Places to Hide. What do we think that this story is going to be about? We see a family, the big truck, boxes. They have a kitty cat. Ooh, there's a kitty cat in the title. Maybe the kitty cat's important. And we see a dad and a mom, 2 kids. So take a second to think about what you think the story is going to be about. You can write it down if you want, or you can just talk to the person you're working with and tell them your prediction about what you think the story is going to be about. And now I have a fun little activity that we can do before we read. Did you know that asking yourself a question before you read can help you pay attention? It helps me pay attention. So I like to look at the title and look at the picture and then ask myself, like, what do I think this story is going to be about? Or just like one main question. So everything I read, I'm asking myself that question again. So if the title is Too Many Places to Hide, then I would guess that it has something to do with hiding, right? It's really big, it's like right there at the front, hide. So I'm gonna ask myself, who's hiding? And everything I read, I'm going to ask myself, did that tell me who's hiding? And when I know who's hiding, then that question will be answered and I will have a better understanding of the story. Okay? So y'all do the same. If you like that question, use it. If you want to ask another question, ask another question. And see if you can answer your own question as you read. Alright guys, let's get started. Everybody, page 70. And if you want to use your main index finger to follow along as we read, that would be awesome. We just moved from the city. Boxes are everywhere. And poof is gone. Let's look at that word, poof. Do you see how it's capitalized? There's a big P. That means that that is a name. And do you remember how we went over singular nouns? This is a singular noun. Let's try and figure out who Poof is. Dad said he saw her in the kitchen earlier. Poof is not there now. Do you know who Poof is yet? Keep thinking about it. Our new home has too many places to hide. That was the title of the book. How will we ever find Poof? Mateo helps me look. He crawls way back in the closet. No Poof. helps me look. She peeks under the couch. No poof. Mateo unpacks bowls. Dad plunks down the cat food. I have an idea. Did you see those vocabulary words in there? Mateo hands me a bowl. Dad helps me fill it with cat food. Come, Poof, dinner time. Here is Poof. So who was Poof? It was the kitty cat. Good job. All right, now I want everyone to look back at the story. Let's go back to the front. Now we're just gonna look at it a little bit closer. Every story has a problem that needs to be solved. That's what makes it interesting. So what I want you to do is take your pencil or pen, and I want you to find the problem in this story, and I want you to underline it. And I want you to really think about what makes sense. And then I want you to find the resolution, or how that problem was solved. So if the problem is that I'm hungry, then the solution is that I ate a sandwich. So if the problem is that you lost your doll, then the resolution is that you found the doll. So I want you to think really, really hard about what was the problem in this story? What needed to be fixed? And then what got fixed? How did you know it got fixed? And I want you to circle those things for me, okay? And lastly, I want you to look at these vocabulary words that we went over that you saw in the story. And I want you to pick one. I want you to draw a picture of you doing that thing, okay? Crawls, peeks, unpacks, and plucks. Those are all verbs, so those are all things you can do. So that means you can show me a picture of what that would look like you doing, okay? Perfect. And then we are going to check for understanding on page 79. Question number 1 says, the events could not really happen, so you are going to circle one of these. Question number 2 says, why do you think the author wrote this text? So I really want you to go back into the book and think of something that you saw in the book that would make you think this is why the author wrote that, okay? See if you can find some actual evidence from the story. That would make me so happy. And last question, number 3. Poof comes out because, so I want you to look back in the story and see if you can find what made Poof come out finally in the end, okay? All right, friends, and then that is it for RLA. And I will see you later in math.